Around 20% of footballers retire because of knee injuries or knee issues in some capacity, which is a lot. Like, you think about it, 1 in 5 people. Injuries in general are the most commonly cited reason for retirement in footballers, and the main bulk of that is knee injuries, and especially in context, like we're talking ACL injuries, there's really an epidemic of ACL injuries right now in football. And that was almost me. At 16, I was trying to go pro in football. I was trying to go to the higher levels of playing for Norwich Elite, 1 step away from the academy, and I had a major knee injury. From that point, my football career diminished. 5 years out of football, and then I found this system that I use with my clients right now, and we're back. Our knees are healthier than ever, right? So 3 exercises today I'm going to run through. I believe these could reduce the injury rates by quite a lot and could save a lot of people's careers, whether they're coming back from a knee injury or whether they're trying to actually be resilient against injuries in the first place. So first thing I want to talk about is the knee angle of ACL tears and knee injuries in general. So if we're talking about the ACL tear epidemic, that actually happens between a range of 0 degrees knee flexion and 30 to 40% knee flexion. So in this short angle, and it happens in deceleration or cutting. The first 2 exercises that I'm going to be talking about are going to be training this exact thing. The first thing is a Poliquin step up. We know that cyclic tension at shallow knee angles activates living cells within the ACL and helps the ACL to get thicker and stronger over time. The research is clear on that. The research shows that. This exercise, the Poliquin step up, the limiting factor in the exercise is the ligament itself. This exercise puts the stress in the position where the ligament has the most stress on it. And we know that the ligaments, the tendons, the cartilage, all the connective tissue within the knee has anabolic properties. It can grow thicker and stronger over time when we train it in the right way. So the reverse step up is one of the biggest exercises I think could change knee health in football. Charles Poliquin used it with Olympian athletes and called it the $1 million knee exercise because the Olympians that used it went on to win millions in prize money. If it's good enough for Charles Poliquin and his Olympian gold medal standards, it's good enough for me, trust me. And this is one of the exercises that I have used to transform my knees after 4 meniscus tears, ab kneecap, partial ACL tear, quad tendon and patellar tendon damage. This is one of the main exercises I used. So we can start this at a low height and also with assistance. And over time, the higher that we go, the more knee dominant this is going to be, the more stress on the ligaments, with a maximum height reaching 8 inches. But if you are on the smaller side, like I am, staying at 6 inches is absolutely fine as well. The main form points in this exercise are keeping the non-working leg straight, lowering to the heel but not taking the stress off the working leg, keeping our torso straight, vertical, or even a little bit leaning back so all the stress stays on the knee rather than going on the hips, and then pushing through the quad and extending to end range of the knee. So this is for the ACL tears and the knee injuries that happen in this kind of knee angle on the front side of the knee. But also we have the back side of the knee. The knee has 2 main functions. It's to flex and it's to extend. The front of the knee is mainly extension, so the quads, and the back of the knee, the hamstrings, the gastroc are mainly the knee flexors. So we need to think about the knee flexors as well. We need to think about the back of the knee as well in this exact angle. And the way that we like to think about that is the Nordic curl. Charles Poliquin said that knee flexion is like the second ACL. We know that eccentric hamstring strength is super crucial in deceleration. The Nordic is one of the best tests we have of eccentric hamstring strength. And it also tests how much we can actually handle our body weight when our knee is being pried apart. If you look at the difference between a Nordic and a hamstring curl as well, the Nordic is hardest in the lengthened position. In this 10 to 30 degrees where the ACL tears. When you are in the more flexed position, there is no load on our hamstrings. There's no load on the back of the knee. When we get into the extended position, there's going to be the most load on our hamstrings on the back of the knee there. The opposite of that is in the hamstring curl. In the hamstring curl, there's less load when we get to full extension when we are down there, and there's more load when we are flexing up. So it's a mid to short range exercise. In my prime of doing Nordics, I could hit 33 Nordic curls with my own body weight in a row. Before I started this journey, I was hitting 0. I couldn't even lower myself on the eccentric phase. So we know that this can really make a crazy transformation. And we see example after example of people not just bulletproofing their knees with this, but also having an athletic transformation. Jonathan Edwards, Marty St. Louis, cheated in the NFL. These are some of the most athletic people on the planet, and the commonality is that they all did Nordic curls. Interesting stuff, right? So those 2 exercises for our actual knee position in football is amazing. This third exercise, I think, is the most important in my opinion, but all of them are important in their own right. The deep range of motion, the deep knee bends, and this can be in an ATG split squat, this could be in a full range of motion squat, this could be in a front squat, any of the above. I personally think the front squat is the GOAT of this because we're going to be loading more of our quads, more of our VMOs, more of the knee joint compared to a back squat where it's going to be a little bit load further on the back chain, which is fine as well. I don't mind either of them. Personally, I think the front squat is a real game changer over time. So again, Poliquin came up with this principle that the range that we don't train in the sport, if we make gains there, we are going to actually make gains and protect ourselves in the range that we play in our sport. And if we think about the connective tissue of inside the knee, which is what we're talking about here, knee injuries itself, when we go to a full range of motion, the maximal synovial fluid gets put into the knee. The synovial fluid delivers nutrients to the knee. It's like the oil to a hinge for our knees. It's the oil for our knees. It makes our knees mobile. It makes it lubricated. It makes it healthy over time. There's also studies showing that people who do deep squats, such as Olympic weightlifters, have thicker connective tissue within the knee than the people that don't train full range of motion deep squats. So the connective tissue is actually hypertrophied. We've got more protection. The other thing that this is really important for is the VMOs. We know that when the knee is under pressure, the VMO is the first muscle to contract. And we know that by getting super strong in a full range of motion front squat or a full range of motion squat in general, our VMOs strength is going to be jacked up. Just look at the Chinese weightlifters. Full range of motion squats, jacked VMOs. This VMO is then going to help protect our knee against knee injuries. So it's super important to be able to start doing front squats or deep squats in general. And again, don't rush yourself there. If you have any pain, don't train in that range yet. Build to it over time. But the more that we consistently apply synovial fluid, apply this kind of range training to our knees over time, the healthier our knees are going to become. Think about it. Why would we have a full range of motion in our knee if we weren't supposed to train it? It's an interesting concept, right? So that is a really quick run through on those 3 exercises. But trust me, if you haven't heard of these exercises before, or if you haven't been doing them, and you start doing them and you progress them over a long period of time so the connective tissue has time to adapt, the connective tissue being the ACL, the ligaments, the cartilage, all of the different stuff inside the actual knee joint, and you let that adapt over time because that takes longer to adapt than muscle, you are going to see extreme gains within the knees. You're going to be more resilient. You're going to be more mobile. The knees are going to feel less painful when playing sport. So I really hope this helps. If you do have any questions, please drop them in the comment section down below. If you would like to work one-on-one with us, again, the link is in the description to apply for one-on-one coaching. Let's make ballers bulletproof again.